It's exactly 1 week till Chinese New Year. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I will be doing my Lunar New Year Readathon TBR, and if you guys don't know about this readathon because you're new to the channel or maybe because you just missed my announcement video and basically all my announcements on my social media platforms, don't worry, let me just quickly explain this readathon that me and Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers here on YouTube has created. So basically it's a readathon to celebrate diversity. It's a readathon that me and Lacey created when we had the idea of celebrating the Chinese New Year with a readathon. And the rule that we basically created was that the books that we read would have to include an Asian character or it has to be by an Asian author. And this is just to celebrate the Lunar New Year and also to celebrate diversity in the romance book community and also all books across all genres. So I know that there's a lot of participants already on Instagram and they're super excited and they've been tagging me and Lacey on Instagram on their TBR piles. So I highly recommend you guys to do the same if you guys want us to share your TBR piles and to share the books that we are celebrating. And it's beautiful so far. I've seen all the photos and a lot of people have actually read a lot of the books that I did read. And it's also a great way to bring attention to authors that might not be getting the attention that they deserve. And it's just to celebrate reading in general as well. So if you guys are excited, definitely come and join us during our readathon. It's being held on January 24th all the way to January 26th. And you just use the hashtag LNY Readathon 20 to join in on the conversation. I believe like Lacey and I will probably live update you guys on our Twitter accounts or also on our Instagram stories accounts about how our readathons are going so far. And it's going to be super exciting. So come join us if you guys have enough time to pick up a few of these books. So the first book that I'll be reading is A Fake Girlfriend for the Chinese New Year by Jackie Lau. Now this book is a book that me and Lacey are both interested in. I've actually met Jackie Lau in person in Toronto at like this romance conference that was held in this hotel, and I met her and she was super nice and she was super sweet, and I actually picked up 2 of her books there, but I didn't pick up this one because this one just released in January and we're super excited. So I showed Lacey and Lacey was super intrigued as well. So she asked me if I wanted to do a buddy read. So we are doing a buddy read for this one. So if you guys want to join, it is available on Kindle. It's not Kindle Unlimited, but definitely do purchase the ebook and join along. Now this book is actually book 3 in Holiday with the Wong series, and I read the first one, which had to deal with Thanksgiving, but I actually never read the second one, which I'm also planning to read. But this one is just coming up to our attention first because it actually directly deals with Chinese New Year. So now this book follows a character named Zach Wong, and Zach Wong is basically single and he's not ready to mingle. Like he just wants to stay single. He just wants to maintain his single status. So his parents just want him to get married because everybody else is already married and it's just him being single, and basically they just want grandchildren from him already. So when he has to go back home to Chinese New Year, he's expected to bring a girl. So he decides to ask the town dentist to be his fake girlfriend. Since they are friends, kind of makes sense for them to pretend that they are in a fake relationship, and all they have to do is just hold hands, do a little few kisses, and just convince everybody that they're actually not in love with each other. It sounds like a really adorable read, and I think it's actually a very short novel. So definitely me and Lacey will read this without a problem during our readathon. So now going back a book in the series, I'll be also trying to read A Second Chance Road Trip for Christmas by Jackie Lau as well. And now this is just book 2 in Holidays with the Wong series. Now this book is about a character named Greg, and Greg, the last thing he wants to do during the Christmas holidays is drive his ex high school sweetheart back home to Mosquito Bay, which is their small town that they live in Canada. And he just doesn't want to deal with her because he just wants peace and quiet. He just wants to stay alone and he just wants to survive the holidays. So when his parents put them together in a small car and basically organize this road trip for them, they are forced to be put together and they're I guess forced to talk about what went wrong, and it's a second chance romance, so it sounds really cute and adorable, and I bet it'll be really emotional as well. I think this book is also very short, so I think I'll get to it with no problem. The next book that I do want to pick up is actually a middle grade novel called Mindy Kim and the Lunar New Year Parade. And now this is actually a South Korean American story, and it has just been released recently in January, and I was very excited when I saw it on Simon Schuster Canada's like teen Twitter page and I saw it and I was like, this fits our readathon so perfectly that I can't deny it. So I automatically picked up the book on Amazon and it shipped my way and it was there, it was available. The only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in is that I did pay $8 for this book and it's super thin, but I read a few pages and I thought it was adorable and I thought it was very interesting. So I believe this book is about a girl named Mindy Kim, and I actually think she's in elementary school, and basically she's learning about her heritage and her culture and what it means to celebrate the Lunar New Year as a South Korean. And I think it's going to be really interesting too, because I think she's going to be teaching a lot of her classmates what the Lunar New Year is. So I'll be for sure reading this one and telling you guys how I feel about it. So the next buddy read that me and Lacey are going to do is Temporary Wife Temptation by J.C. Lee. And now this is a Harlequin novel that I have been highly anticipating, and I have been actually waiting for it ever since it was announced in 2019. So now J.C. Lee, I think this is probably one of her debut novels actually, and I'm super excited to read this because this is clear representation in a series of books that I collect religiously. I mean, if you guys are new here, hello, I collect a lot of Harlequin novels, and it's been a very long time since Harlequin has actually printed a novel featuring Asian characters, and now not only like an Asian character, but this is a romance featuring 2 Asian characters. So this book is about Garrett, and Garrett is basically ready to inherit his empire, but the only thing that's stopping him is that he needs to actually have a wife. Everybody's like putting him on this matchmaking process so that he has a wife so he can inherit his empire, but he's like, I don't want any of that, so he's going to do a little bit of a fake dating trope. He hires Natalie, and now Natalie's expected to pose as his wife, and it's so steamy and so hot from all the quotes that I have read on Twitter that JC has posted, and I'm super excited. Like, as soon as I received this book, I was shouting from the rooftops, and me and Lacey were like, we kind of just really want to read it now, and we don't even want to wait for the readathon, but I know that it'll be good for us if we just like have some time to savor it. So super excited, and this one actually releases in February if you guys are intrigued by it, and we just received an ARC copy of it from Harlequin. So I don't know if Lacey and I will have enough time to read all the books that we set on our TBRs, but we also realized that we have the same book, so we thought maybe we can just find some time to buddy read this last one together. But we're trying to read Trade Me by Courtney Milan. Now, Courtney Milan is a very well-known name author from her books and also from her place in the romance industry. She is being a very strong figure for talking about diversity and for pushing for diversity, and also talking about real issues that are happening in the romance community. She is a very popular name, and if you guys want to know more about her, definitely research her and check her out, and all her status updates and everything on Twitter as well. Now, her book, Trade Me, is about a girl named Tina, and Tina is a very hardworking person, and I guess she's also saves a lot of the money that she earns in America so that she could send her money back home in China, which is what a lot of people tend to do as immigrants to a country, and to a country where they find a high-paying job. They like to support family back home. And now she makes an offhanded comment to the CEO of the company that she works for, who is just so happens to be a billionaire. She basically says that he can't handle her life and that he can't handle doing the jobs that she does just so that she can survive and just so that she can support her family back home. And he is intrigued by this idea, so he decides that he's going to make a bet and that he's going to switch jobs with her. She gets all the money, she gets the car, she gets his house, she gets like his position, and he will in return get everything that she has. But soon they're just not trading cars, and they're trading secrets and kisses and things like that. It sounds like it's going to be a very steamy novel filled with a lot of sexual tension, so I'm excited to read this one with Lacey if we do have time to get to it. So I actually cheated and I actually started reading one of the books that I wanted to read for this readathon because I was just too excited for it, and I was just like, screw it, I have the ARC, I'm just going to start it, and it's either going to count or not count, but it counts in my heart because I'm reading diversely, and I'm also reading a book with an Asian character by an Asian character. Now, the book that I'm reading currently is Loathe at First Sight by Suzanne Park, and this book actually comes out in August 2020, so it's very, very far away from now, but it's so good so far that I'm loving it. I'm 25% in, but I really just want to devour every single page and every single chapter. Now, this book is about a girl named Melody, and Melody got a job working in this video game industry corporation where they make a lot of the video games that are very popular, and it was just kind of like a stroke of luck for her to get this job, because before she was working in the advertising agency and she was doing a lot of copywriting. So now she's moved into the video game industry, which is a little bit different for her. And she has to deal with a lot of different changes because now she's working in a workplace filled with guys, and guys in tech are basically deemed as intolerable people who are very misogynistic and who are very rude to women and who say a lot of like ludicrous comments that just really infuriate people, because it just seems like it's very narrow-minded and the comments are just plain rude a lot of the times. So she has to deal with a lot with that, but I find her right now to be a very strong and capable character who really takes care of herself and who doesn't make a big deal of things, but also gets even with them and also lets them know that you guys can't really mess with me. I'm not going to accept the beatings that you're going to give me, and it's really good. So basically, she ends up joking around with her friend about like a video game, and that idea actually gets picked up. It's going to be transformed into the next game that the company is going to basically promote, and for it to be a feature game. And now she's in charge of that project, and this will be a career-changing move for her. So she's working really hard on it, but she also has to work really hard on it with the new intern, who just so happens to be Nolan. And Nolan just so happens to be the CEO's nephew. So now there's like a lot of nepotism and also trying to fight her attraction to him. And it just seems like it's going to be a very good book. And this book just seems like it's going to be a very good romantic comedy covering a lot of the strong topics that we need to cover now in our books, such as diversity, misogynism, and also working in a workplace filled with a lot of guys, and also working in a workplace filled with a lot of negative environment and negative energies. So I'm really liking it so far, and I can't wait to share with you guys my thoughts on this one. So anyways, that is all the books that I'm planning to read for this readathon. I'm actually not too sure if I'm going to get through all these books, but hopefully I do. But I'm super excited for everybody who is joining, and thank you so much for your support. I know me and Lacey are very happy that at least like one other person is joining with us. So yay for us, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.